So before we get started with the next set of steps, I want to show you something that may be helpful to you. Maybe you've unexpectedly clicked on one of these X's up here, like that one, and it got rid of something over here that I am using regularly, and you want to get it back. So what you do to get it back is you go to click on View and then go down to Panels, and then you've got all of these panels that are available to you. So right now the only thing that is there is layers, and so that is what is available to me over here are my layers. But I want my browser back and another layer. So I can click on my browser and you can see it's here. If I want to adjust it a little bit, I can click on this area right here and move it and adjust it, and it shows me both of those. But in the next set of steps, you'll see that it's adjusting the styling stuff over here to our right, and I've taken that off previously and I want that back. So what I'm going to do over here is come over and I'm going to find layer styling, and I'm going to click on layer styling. So I clicked on View, Panels, and then layer styling, and then you can see over here I've got my layer styling available to me. And so whenever there's something missing from your screen that maybe I've got up here, try that View, Panels, and then look for something that you might need. Later on in the semester we're going to be using something called the toolbox, and so the processing toolbox is right here, and that is really useful to have in your view when you're using that. And so just be aware of that. All right, so with that in mind, let's look at our next few steps. All right, so we've added both those steps, okay? We are going to go to step 5. Let's see, make sure I finished everything that I wanted to do. Click on Open Styling. That was so that was step 4. And so over here now we've got our styling image, and we want to change our fill for the international map, not so this part. So, and I think I showed you how to do that earlier, but this is another way to do that. So let's give that a go. All right, so I've got this here. I've got the kind of this very dark gray green almost, and I want to change it. Okay, and so what I got to do is I got to change my database to the land area, and you can see now I see that that's the color, so I've changed that. I selected the layer, so this is just you're selecting the layer so that you're going back to. So this is what I want, and I want to make it look somewhat different. So I'm going to just move this around, play around with it a bit, move it there, and now I've got a different color. Oops, let me click on, where'd it go? Just drag it back to where I want it. All right, so then I've done that. So if we look at our steps, we've noticed that they've got the fill color in and the stroke color, and they've made it this black. This means it's kind of clear, and so let's make sure that we're good there. Okay, so let me double check on all of these. Okay, and I want our stroke color, so I'm going to get rid of, so it looks a little bit different than what we've had on there before. Let me move my picture out of the way so I can see it. We've got color, simple fill. Okay. Oops, I'm too far again. Let me just do it the old-fashioned way here. Okay, all right. So we're clicking on simple fill, and we want our stroke color. Oops, I click backwards here. I'm going to move our screen over so you can see what I'm doing a little bit. Okay, and I'm taking the stroke color, and what I want it to be is over here. Okay, so I've moved this over so that it is clear. All right, so now I can click apply. You didn't see anything on that. What it just did was take away the boundary layers. Um, so that's where we're at. Okay. So with step 6, what we're going to do is change the power plants from a circle little icon to a triangle marker. Okay, and so the way we do that is we're in our symbols here, and we've got a bunch of symbols to look at down here. We've got some shapes to look at, and we are going to change those at this point now. And so how do we do that? Well, right now it's selected on favorites. So what we need to do is first make sure we're on the right layer. So we're going to make sure we're on the right layer, and we're going to switch over to Global Power Plant Database, and we're going to click on our simple marker here. And down here, so we had layer rendering down before, so I'm going to get rid of that by clicking on the little toggle triangle button here so that I can see what's in front of me here. And what I want to do is I just want to choose a triangle. Okay, so if I zoom in here and I look at some of these, you can see that they're a bunch of little triangles. If we go back to our Canvas shell and we look at the instructions, we see a few things. First of all, we need the size to be in millimeters 2.0. Okay, so let's jump to Canvas or to QGIS, and so the size is 2 millimeters. Okay, so we're good there. And let's jump back to our. They want it to be blue. It's up to you which color you have. It's not a big deal. They do have a stroke color as black and that it's solid line. So let's make sure we are on cue there. We've got a solid line and it is black. And again, that's just the border around the triangle. So this next part is something you probably will not do all that often, but I just want you to see that it can be done. So if we look at Canvas, you'll notice that we're going to go over to the stroke color, black, and over to the right is a little menu that we're going to edit. And then once we click on this menu, we're going to put in this code. Okay. So it just allows you to change a code to something very specific. So let's go back to, we're going to click again on this. We're going to go to Edit. And we've got our pop-up menu here, and we're going to paste in that code. Okay. And that code will change things a bit to the stroke color. And you can see now that it's very, very different to what we had before, and it makes it pop a little bit more. Okay, so now we're going to it went back to a triangle, so let me fix that real quick. Circle, not a triangle. So I'm going to go back to, first of all, let's fix our colors. Edit, and must have done something weird there, and I want my symbols to be right, so I'm going to move that back to triangle, and we've got 2.0, so I think we're good. We're going to apply that, and all right, so now the next step is, see, step 10. We want to categorize these dots by the fuel type that they're using in these. So we're going to change this to, instead of having a single symbol for everything, to categorizing it. Okay, you notice that everything disappeared for a second. That's okay. We still got our triangle as our primary thing. what we're going to do here is, mine says value. The instructions say column. I think yours will probably be value. We're going to click on that drop down thing here, and you'll see that these are all the fields in our spreadsheet that we previously had. And so we're going to go find primary fuel and click on primary fuel. Okay. We still have our symbol and random colors as listed here. Okay. And so now what I need to do is go down here and click classify. And you can see that we've got a list of things here of all the different types of fuel used to generate power. Okay. And I am just going to click apply just to make sure that it's right. And you can see that all of our squares are roughly showing the different types of fuel that are available. So you can see the dark blue one is gas. Okay. The light green ones are either hydro or geothermal along here. We've got an orange one. Let's see, that must be coal. Looks like they like coal up in France a lot. Or is that solar? There's an orange one right there. It could be solar. Anyway, so we get an idea of what all of these different power plants are using for their fuel. Okay. All right, so we've got, oops, I've lost all of our things here. Let me bring that back. Here we go. All right, so we've got all of our fuels here. And now what we want to do is, what if we want to see one of these specifically? Well, one thing we could do is simply go through and click on these checkboxes. If we wanted to see the ones that are all solar, I could just unclick everything that's not solar and they would all disappear, right? And we can see all the solar. It looks like France is doing solar and not coal. All of those are then available for us to see. But there is a simple way to do it more specifically and faster. So let me show you how to do that. And that's what's illustrated in our instructions in instruction step 11. So what we're going to do here is we are going to edit this. Now I need to move my picture down here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of everything except for biomass. And you can do that by clicking on these individually and then click on this little minus button down here and it gets rid of them. Or you can click Control and then click on each one of these as well. And then click minus. Oops, I forgot one. And it'll get rid of all of those. And then you can see that I've got our solar or our biomass here. Okay. Now, again, this is not the best. I want to be able to see this better. So I'm going to change my symbology a little bit around so that I can see this better. And I'm going to do that by clicking on symbols. And let's see, dark green, if we had something like a yellow. Let's see. A yellow color might be better in contrast. Let's see if that works. Apply. Oh, didn't work. Got to try again. No, I want a nice dark yellow color, or a light yellow color. I want it to pop. Apply. It's still not doing anything. I don't know why it's not doing anything. It's weird. It keeps going back to that color. Maybe I need to click on the simple marker. Oh, there's our reason. Okay. Simple marker, we'll go to yellow, get a nice bright yellow, and there we go. All right, so now we're good. All right. All right, so plus playing around with the symbology a little bit is